Hi all, Simon Piment here. Someone in my group said, I find that I'm being stressed by trying to implement new beneficial routines, or I get stressed by getting new information on how to recover. I don't know why I react like that. Maybe I dive in too hard or think I can't manage. Or sometimes it feels like I'm holding on to old routines as I'm drowning if I don't hold on to those routines. Now, what I'd say to this person is what you are describing makes complete sense to me, and it's something I can relate to when I had MECFS. So it seems that there's a conflict going on. So there's part of you that wants to take positive steps because you want to achieve a goal of health, but there's part of you that when you think about making changes starts generating anxiety. So when I work with someone, I teach them 9 pieces. So the first thing I teach people is how to identify the unhelpful patterns that can actually put us in a state of fight or flight. They then learn how to interrupt those unhelpful patterns and how to create new responses. And with practice, those new responses can become the default. One of the challenges to identifying unhelpful responses is that some of them are like the iceberg. They're below the surface and we are not good at spotting them. So teach people how to identify those unhelpful responses that they don't realize they're doing. Now we know that the way the brain works is that whatever we practice, we get good at. So if we're practicing anxiety, then we get better at generating anxiety. And if we're not accessing that part of us that has the capacity for wisdom, for calm, for pragmatism, that part gets smaller and smaller. And it can feel as if that part is not even there. So we keep practicing the anxiety, and this is something that I did, and it can get to the point where it feels like that it's not even us who's doing it. It feels like that anxious part has a life of its own. So if we go back to the point the person was making there, wanting to make change. Now, making change means that we're stepping out of our comfort zone. So if the blue circle is our comfort zone, then the grey is outside of our comfort zone. So when we try and step out of our comfort zone, that anxious part pops up. Now, that anxious part is trying to keep us safe, and it thinks that making us scared is a good way to do that. So that part may try to undermine our efforts to make change. It may even actually sabotage us from making the change we wish to make. Now, often that anxious part is very familiar to us. So although it doesn't serve us, it's a bit like a comfort blanket. That's our default strategy for dealing with things that are outside our comfort zone. But unfortunately, it encourages us to stay inside our comfort zone. Now, the good news is we can learn to break that pattern, interrupt that pattern, and we can learn to access that part of us that is more resourceful. And I teach people how to do that, how to access that part of us that has the capacity for wisdom, pragmatism, calm. And if we practice accessing that part, then the anxious part starts to get smaller and smaller. And actually we can start to understand that anxious part is something we can influence. If we keep practicing accessing that part of us that has the capacity for wisdom and calm, pragmatism, that part gets stronger and stronger. And it actually feels as if that part has a life of its own. We aren't having to consciously activate it. It becomes second nature. So if we practice stepping out of our comfort zone and being guided by that part that is wise, is pragmatic, that part that's saying to us, you can do this. It may be unfamiliar to begin with, but it's okay. It's like learning anything. It's like learning to walk. Initially you fell over, but you kept going because you didn't really listen to that voice that said, you can't do this. It's just the same with this. You can do this. Just keep going. You can get help if you need it, but just take one step at a time. And well done for taking those steps. And the more you do this, the easier it is going to get. Remember, you kept going when you were learning to walk, and you can do this. So if you just thank that anxious part for trying to take care of you and saying, look, you've done your job, I'm now going to listen to that other part of me that has the capacity for wisdom, calm, and pragmatism. And you might say, right now, I'm just going to remember a time where I experienced feeling relaxed or happy, or I might remember a time when I achieved something and felt good, or I might just calm my mind and body right now by doing a meditation or by focusing on parts of my body that feel good. And here's the thing, as we practice stepping out of our comfort zone and accessing those calm feelings, those feelings of trust, then what was outside of our comfort zone becomes part of our comfort zone, and we extend our comfort zone. So I hope that's given you some food for thought. If you'd like to know more about the 9 steps that I use when teaching people the Building Resilience training, click the link below and put the words 9 steps in the message box, and I'll send you the link to a short video. Thanks for watching. Wishing you great health. Bye for now.